Well, hey everyone, it's Marcus and welcome to more Zooming in the Jungle Room. I am with Queenslander. I do believe he's in Queensland at the moment, I'm sure. His name is Zane Harris. He is, of course, from the Dreggs. Zane, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Was I correct in assuming that you're still up in Queensland at the moment?
Yep, Sunshine Coast, Queensland.
Beautiful, awesome. And how's the weather up there today? Is it fabulous?
No, it's we've actually had a horrible summer, if I'm being honest. It's just rained the whole time, which is not like Queensland at all.
You need to come down to Adelaide.
Yeah, I've heard it's been beautiful.
Been stunning. Well, and I mean, fortunately, you are coming to Adelaide because you are about to do a tour.
Yes, yeah, we'll be in Adelaide very soon. Actually, we haven't been able to come down to South Oz too often, so we're very happy to be coming back down.
Well, you are coming here. Luckily, it's going to be Hindley Street Music Hall, which is an incredible venue. I don't know if you've played there before, but it's an amazing space. And it is on the 14th of June, 2024. So it's not very far away. It's only, yeah, well, a couple of months away.
Yeah,
We're going to
very
get on to
soon.
the tour shortly. Let's first of all talk about the Dreggs. Where did
Mhm.
that come from? How do you come up with that?
I said it as a joke, to be honest. We just mum's always called me a drag. I've always had long hair. She's like, you look like a drag, blah blah. I didn't think anything of it, but I said it as a joke to Patty, and then Patty's like, why don't we just call ourselves that? Because we used to just be called Zane and Patty. So a little bit more creative than Zane and Patty.
And so how did you two create the band? Were you friends to start with? How did it all work?
No, well, we grew up on a tiny little island where everyone knew everyone, but we didn't know each other, which was super strange. And we'd lived maybe a kilometer from each other. So we met when we were 21.
Okay.
Our it was actually both our ex-partners that were best friends through school that introduced us. And then yeah, here we are 7 years later.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, 2017, the Dreggs formed,
Mhm.
which doesn't seem long ago, but time marches on so fast, doesn't it? So, you're coming up to, almost just shy of, coming up to your 10-year anniversary.
Mm.
You've done some great stuff in this time though. What would be one of your biggest achievements that you've been able to do while being in the Dregs?
I don't know. We never really had any expectation or anything on what we were going to do. So I think anything that we have done. But I think the ones that stand out, would be our last tour that we did in 23, where we sold over 15,000 tickets around Australia, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's
Um, but yeah, we played Splendor. We've played a lot of big festivals. We've been over to Europe and UK and everything like that. So we're just grateful to be able to do anything really.
And you were in the lineup for Splendor in the Grass, of course, for this year. Unfortunately, it's been cancelled. Devo. I mean, you could have been right
Yeah.
alongside Kylie Minogue.
I know we're actually playing it on the main stage at 4 o'clock on the Saturday afternoon as well. So we're playing prime time and everything. So we're super excited for it. But who knows? Hopefully next year it comes back.
Exactly. There's always more. And you know what? Australia is very much known for its music festivals. There's always something popping up, isn't there?
Of course, yeah. If it's not one, it's another.
Do you personally do you enjoy the festivals or the smaller gigs?
I don't know. They're both completely different. Like the energy and the excitement of festivals are next level.
Yep.
But obviously playing to people who genuinely love and know you as well is completely different to festivals, but it's equally as special.
Um, yeah, quite right. It's just a different engagement, really, isn't it?
Definitely is. Yeah. People at festivals are ready to party. And then yeah, people at your own shows are also ready to party, but I think they're a bit more receptive to the slower songs as well.
Now you've just brought out literally your third single off the upcoming new album,
Mhm.
which is called Peeps with the Goods. Um,
Yep.
what inspired that song?
We actually wrote that one with Matt Corby, who's another Australian
Yeah.
royalty, I think. He's phenomenal. We wrote that one with Matt Corby and Alex Hendrickson down in Rainbow Valley Studios, and it's sort of about just being the underdogs, I guess, and that's what we've been our whole career. It's about trying to wrangle the Australian music industry and the music industry in general as independent artists. I think it's about putting in a lot of effort and sometimes not getting enough return from the people you're trying to get yeah, the people you're trying to get to give you a bit of love don't really get there. So it's a bit of a funny one. It's a really happy, soulful sounding song, but it's actually got a bit of a message behind it too.
It's cool. I was listening to it this morning.
Cool.
Super duper good. Of course, we just mentioned just previously that the album is about to come out at the end of April,
Yep.
called In a Reverie. Surprisingly, I mean, you've been around since 2017, but this is the debut album. You know, we're talking
Yeah.
like, what is that, 7 years later?
Yep.
Why the delay for that, do you think? I mean, obviously we went through that crazy period in the 2020 period.
Yeah.
What was the delay, do you think?
I think the way we've sort of done music was the old school way, like whereas we haven't really stopped touring since we started playing. So obviously when you're playing 3 shows a weekend, doesn't really give you too much time to write. Obviously you're really inspired and stuff, but we actually we took it upon ourselves to take 6 months off at the start of last year to finish the album because, as you know, we're well overdue for one. But it's kind of exciting. This one's not even out yet. We're halfway through writing the second one, and yeah, we're really focusing on getting a lot of music out now.
And when you're doing the tour, you're going to be bringing vinyl on the road with you as well?
Yeah, we've got vinyl, we've got the limited edition ones, we've got the normal ones, we've got so much going on. So
Brilliant. I will be lining up for my vinyl, definitely.
awesome.
So hey, let's take it back. When you were younger, musically, who were you listening to?
I always grew up on well, when I got old enough to start to like music, it was always Ben Howard, John Butler, all those classic folk musos. I love Newton Faulkner, all those sort of artists. But yeah, dad brought us up on, Midnight Oil and your AC/DCs and stuff like that. So he was trying to push me down the rock route, and then I ended up a folk muso. So complete opposite.
Zane, I've got full confession. My first ever concert I saw was Midnight Oil.
Yep, me too.
A while ago, back in their heyday.
Yep.
Yeah, it was epic. I'd never seen anyone on stage quite like Peter Garrett. You know, the way he moved and performed. His passion was just out of this world.
Seriously.
It was harder for me, definitely.
Yeah.
And I backed it up. It was about a month or 2 months later. My second show I ever saw was Tina Turner. So it was like,
oh, no way.
rock god, rock goddess, bang.
Yeah.
Pretty
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So when you are doing your music now, and like I
Mhm.
said, you're halfway through writing the next album,
Mhm.
who do you like to listen to other music while you're getting inspiration for your current work that you're doing? How do you like to work?
Yeah, I think it was funny because we've been co-writing and recording with a lot of other artists, and it's funny that the topic of like stealing other songs, it's like no one steals anything from anyone. I think you just pick up ideas from different songs and you all put it into your own. I personally love Mumford and Sons, and I love listening to the Lumineers and yeah, all those sort of folk. Noah Khan, obviously, he's just absolutely blown up as well. So it's good to take inspiration from these people, but obviously, yeah, you gotta stick to your own sound as well as picking up on some ideas here and there.
So do you find yourself and Paddy, do you find you both resonate to the same kind of music, or when you are putting music together, is there much of a disagreement ever, or are you quite fluid together?
Yeah, well, so we lived together since the Dreggs started pretty much until a couple months ago. So we are basically the same person now. So yeah, we both, there's never any real disagreement with what either of us wants. We're both pretty laid back as well, which I think is why we've been going for 7 years, and I think we've argued twice.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, we're pretty lucky in that aspect. Yeah, there's always.
Do you like doing your music videos?
We actually haven't done enough, if I'm being honest. We've never really, as I said, we were flat out touring the last 6 years. So it's getting to a point now where we don't have to tour as hard. We can sort of sit back and rely on streams and stuff as a source of income, which is really cool. Because then now we can focus on doing your music clips and all the fun stuff that we've never really had time or money to do.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're doing the tour, what are we going to be expecting from it? Of course, when it comes to Adelaide, what can and your Adelaide fans here are huge. You've got such a good following over here. What can we expect from the tour?
Well, so this one's it's going to be a special one. We've got the whole band on now, so it's not just the duo anymore. We're bringing the band along, and we've just got a new lighting guy. We've got sound. It's going to be a proper show. Whereas I think this will be the first time we've actually put on a show, and it's going to be also still the Dreggs, but there's going to be a bit of theatrics and stuff as well. Obviously not swinging from the ceilings or anything, but yeah, just some extra props and that sort of thing. I think it's going to be really exciting.
And we're going to hear obviously a lot of the new album that will be out by then.
Yeah, we'll still play the old songs to keep everyone happy because as you know, as a music lover, you hate going to a gig and they don't play your favorite song. So we always keep that into account. Obviously, we've played the old stuff for the past 7 years flat out. We're ready to play some new stuff, but we'll still always throw back to the old stuff.
And the music that you've released so far off the album, how's it been received? Do you feel there's a really nice big lot of anticipation for the album to be released now?
I think so. Like we've dragged it out a bit, if I'm being honest. You know, that we have dragged it out a little bit, but we just played Peeps with the Goods for the first time over the weekend down in Port Macquarie.
Yep.
And as soon as Paddy started playing the keys, people started cheering. So it's always cool it's scary to release new music, but it's really nice when people react to it the right way. Like the new album is very different to our old stuff. It's still us, but you know, you see it sometimes with artists that bring out new music and they're always like, oh, your old stuff's better. It's not like your old stuff. Whereas I think our fans and our crew, they're open to what we want to try. And yeah, it's like a big community that we have. They're really, really receptive and yeah, just they appreciate it, which is great. We appreciate that.
Is there a song off the new album that you are absolutely loving? And like when you chance to play it, you're like, yeah, this is why I love it, because it's great.
Yeah. There's a song on there called Look to the Stars. It's not out yet. It's number 4 in the track listing. And Paddy is so funny because we recorded that one at home. So we recorded that all ourselves. Paddy mixed it, he mastered it, he did the lot, and he didn't want it on the album. He didn't really think it was good enough. And I was like, mate, just please, let's put it on there. So it's gonna be really cool to see what everyone else thinks of it, because it's my favorite song on the whole album, and it wasn't even supposed to be on there. So
I look forward to it then, definitely.
yeah, it's cool.
One last question for you. Look, I know life is all very much about twists and turns, and you know, moments change here and there. But in 5 years' time, where would you like to see the Dreggs? What would you be doing?
Honestly, I hope we're still doing what we're doing. I'd love to be able to go overseas and play the same size shows as we're playing in Australia. I think yeah, we're just going to focus really hard on releasing good music and keep up the cadence with the releases and stuff like that. So hopefully we're still doing what we're doing, but on a bigger scale. So fingers crossed.
I'm there for you. Absolutely.
Cool.
Zane Harris, you're an absolute delight to chat with. I cannot wait to see you when you hit Adelaide. Like I was saying, everybody, it's the 14th of June, 2024 at the Hindley Street Music Hall. Zane Harris from the Dreggs, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in Adelaide.
Cool. Thank you very much for having me.